I say let's focus on the fact that tens of thousands of innocent people are being mercilessly slaughtered after being made refugees in their own land. I have been involved in trying to get this government to do the absolute bare minimum in terms of applying sanctions onto Israel for its merciless slaughter of innocent people, the same thing that we did to Russia for its unlawful invasion into an occupation of Ukraine. Yet for some reason, Ryan, we continue to see more pressure exerted on politicians and political figures who showcase their support for Palestine than we do on politicians who are being complicit in this genocide.
Okay, David, do you condemn what was said, death to the IDF?
First of all, there are terrible things happening in the Middle East. No one disputes that. I think the way that Chloe simplified it is a little bit unfortunate, but let's compared it with Russia. That's wrong, but let's just forget all that. My
How is
question
it different from Russia, David? Because
I'm not going to argue about with you.
No, you haven't answered.
No,
that
you've said a
question
statement.
at all, and you're the Deputy Prime Minister. How is this different from Russia?
Oh, well, I think the basic fact is that Russia attacked Ukraine. I mean, they actually initiated the conflict.
And what happened 76 years ago in Palestine, David?
Oh, God. You know what? You could go back 4,000 years. The point is that there are things that are happening that are terrible. The question is, why do we lose our humanity here in New Zealand? And when I see people chanting, just imagine...
Do you even know what that means? Why do we lose our humanity here in New Zealand? No. We're being inhumane? What does that mean? But okay, let's take a step away from what does it mean. What is he? What pious statement is he trying to make? Why are we all arguing with each other? Like, what is he trying to do?
It's nothing. It's empty words. It means nothing. There's no substance in it. He's just literally flapping his gums while his brain struggles for something to, because he is directly opposed from Chloe here, not just in an ideology. Chloe is an amazing communicator and is right across this thing, whereas Seymour is always just vibes.
Yeah, I don't think he's just flapping his gums. As I think about it, he says it more than once. I think this is his PR talking point. I think for some reason,
not a very good one then.
No, I agree, but you watch. We've got about we've still got 2 minutes to go on this. But he says it again. He may even say it 3 or 4 times. So this is obviously a workshop response. And so if it's it's a workshop response by his press secretary and PR team, what is he trying to say? Why do we have to lose our humanity? Like, why do we have to fight? It's like, well, what are we saying? We have to be accurate. We don't have to be neutral. We have to be accurate. And one party's being accurate and the other one's going, oh, just can't we get along? Is it just as deep as that?
Lose our humanity here in New Zealand. And when I see people chanting, just imagine being a Jewish Londoner, a Jewish person in that crowd, a kid that's gone off to the Glastonbury Festival, and suddenly you're surrounded by people doing chants from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, knowing that means that you and people like you should be wiped off the map. How would a person like that feel? Imagine if that happened in Auckland. My question for Chloe is, do you actually denounce this? Do you think it's okay to justify losing your humanity in New Zealand because terrible things are happening over there? Because you've led the same chant, Chloe, and I think it's right for you.
Second time just pointing out humanity.
To come forward and say, actually, yes, it's terrible. We all have views about what's happening in the Middle East, but let's uphold our humanity here, and I think you should denounce what they're saying, and you should denounce that kind of behaviour on behalf of any young kid in that crowd, because I can't think of many things more menacing.
Have you noticed Ryan Bridge? He's done this. You know, I'm not saying it's much of anything other than observation. Maybe.
Then a crowd that's chanting like that.
Chloe,
there's a great bit that Chloe's about to do. Well, it doesn't quite pan out like she wants, so I'll explain it. She's about to say, if I denounce death to the IDF or from the river to the sea, if I denounce that, then will you, and she's going to say something like, denounce the genocide. Doesn't quite work out, but you can see where she's going, and it's very fucking good. It's very good.
If I denounce that chant, David,
Yes,
will
you
you do the absolute bare minimum in upholding human rights and justice and applying the same logic that you did to Russia?
But we shouldn't have. Hang on, guys.
Stop trying to avoid the issue.
But we shouldn't have to.
I'm not avoiding the issue here. The issue here, if I can be crystal clear, the issue here is.
I'm going to skip back because I just want to point out once again, panelist, young female, wearing them like hats, like we've just seen with Fiona Lally, taking control of the situation and being in charge in the interview. Again, young female. Just a point I'm looking at. And as someone said that I put up after the last one, the young Wahine Toa in New Zealand, what they're doing as well. I don't want to be too kind of woo-woo, but something's happening. Something's coming from this sector of society, and it's driving this thing. There's something coming.
I'm not avoiding the issue here. The issue here, if I can be crystal clear, the issue here is 100,000 innocent Palestinians being slaughtered.
Yeah, totally.
That
but
doesn't
we can't
justify losing our humanity here in New Zealand.
Yeah, totally.
We should be qualifying for either of you. Hang on. Chloe, hang on. I don't think either of you should be qualifying statements. I mean, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can say what is happening in Gaza is disgusting and a breach.
And we should do something about it.
Yeah, but then you can also say you shouldn't chant death to the IDF, Chloe.
You shouldn't be chanting death to anybody,
Okay,
Ryan.
good.
But this is my point, is that we spend far more time.
What about from the
debating
river to the sea?
rhetoric
Do you
as
denounce
opposed
that?
to the actual action and inaction from our government? And what I am saying is that this government has sat on its hands for 2 years as innocent people have been mercilessly slaughtered in Gaza.
All right, we have to.
The government's taken multiple actions.
We have to leave it there, team. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
You know what I mean? Something's bubbling up amongst that group of people. Something is bubbling up, and I think we're going to see leaders come out of that. We already do, but that are driving the channel. I don't know whether it's as simple as, and this it sounds a bit patronising, but a younger woman doesn't perhaps seem as aggressive to spar with a commentator, and they get so they can kind of slip in and just nail the points more easily. I don't know. That's probably a little bit patronising because it's more about who they are and what they're thinking. But there is more and more of these young women, young females around the world that are the most eloquent and are pushing the most buttons when it comes to this issue, and I am here for it.